Are you a new Scrum Master, or are you new to the Scrum framework? Or maybe just considering making a switch to a new career as a Scrum Master, and you're not sure how to begin, where to start from, or probably you already begun the journey and everything seems confusing. There's lots of information. Well, today's video on being an exceptional Scrum Master is tailored towards giving you some sort of guidance on how to improve and increase your understanding as a new Scrum Master. So if this sounds like you, then stay till the end of this video. Now, the very first thing I want to talk to you about is the fact that sometimes you hear people tell you that the most important thing is for you to get certified as a Scrum Master, and maybe because you have some experience, some past experience in some other field, but that are related to Scrum, and you're thinking about harnessing that experience to, landing yourself a Scrum Master job. Well, this video will give you some sort of, again, like a pattern and some things you can do, 7 ways you can increase your understanding for free. So without having to make any payment to, sign up anywhere, even before taking your exam, your certification exam, these 7 ways, or these 7 different, opportunities, or 7 different platforms will actually give you a solid understanding, or at least to start with. So the first one for sure is to read the Scrum Guide. Now, the Scrum Guide is available online for free. You can just type on Google Scrum Guide and the latest one would come up. You download it. Now, even you have the audio version, it's available even on YouTube, that just reads out everything in that guide, but in an audio format to you. So the first thing is you need to read the Scrum Guide. You need to get acquainted with the Scrum Guide. And I don't mean reading just once. That would not be enough because it's probably your first time making contact with that knowledge. So you need to read the Scrum Guide again and again and again until you know that you understand all the information, at least most of the information in the Scrum Guide. One thing I recommend is you can keep, after reading a couple of times, you can have the audio playing, probably even when you're doing something else, you're cooking, you're having your breakfast, just have that audio playing. That multiple contact with the Scrum Guide would open up your mind to this new world of knowledge. It gets you familiar with the terminologies that the Scrum framework uses. That way you start getting more confident by being very acquainted with the Scrum Guide. The second thing is to listen to podcasts daily. Now, on your several podcast platforms, there are multiple podcast channels that talk about the Scrum framework, the Scrum Master, and the Agile methodology. So what you can do is just type in, search Scrum, Scrum Master, Agile, those kind of words, and you'll find multiple podcasts come up on your several devices, whatever device that you use, and then you subscribe to a couple of them. And every day commit to listening to those podcasts. Now there are those that post on a daily basis, those who do weekly, twice a week, 3 times a week. It all varies. But whatever the case is, try to subscribe to multiple podcasts. Of course, with time you refine and you can stick with just a few of them, but listen daily. Now, that would do you a whole lot of good because the more you listen to this podcast, it becomes more natural for you as time goes on to talk about the Scrum framework. Even when having your interview, which is something I'm going to talk about in subsequent videos, you will sound more natural. The examples you heard in the podcast will come to you and you can, sound more confident, like you have been a Scrum Master for a longer time. So I recommend you subscribing to several podcasts and listening every single day. Remember, it's more like a new world of knowledge for you. So having multiple contacts with it would really solidify and crystallize that knowledge for you over time. The third thing I recommend is for you to join Agile communities of practice. So that's what you have the COPs. Now, these communities of practice are where Agile practitioners meet. Sometimes it's weekly, sometimes twice a week, depends on the community. And they discuss several issues surrounding Agile, share their experiences. Now, this would do you a whole lot of good because listening to people talk about Agile, frequently would increase your understanding of the framework. Some things you've read in the guide that were theoretical for you, now hearing people who are actually on the job, who are living out Agile talk about it, would help you increase that understanding and helps to shed more light and bring clarity to things you already read somewhere else, maybe online in the guide or some other concept that you heard about related to Agile. So I recommend you joining Agile communities of practice. Now you might be wondering, how do I find them? Again, just search online. Now, I have a couple of them, and if you're interested in me recommending some of them to you, you can leave a comment, and I would definitely recommend you to some of those COPs, and you can join on a regular basis, and you'll be surprised how much understanding joining those communities will bring to you in a very short time. My fourth recommendations is to watch YouTube videos. You're watching one already right now, but I recommend that you watch a lot more YouTube videos. Now, there are several of them, actually thousands of them on the Scrum framework. So I recommend that you subscribe to a couple of YouTube channels for Scrum Master or the Scrum framework, Agile, and you can have a schedule where every day you watch some videos. Now, as time goes on, you might actually decide to stick with just a few so that you don't have your understanding actually confused, but subscribe to a couple of them, a couple of channels. Start with this one. So you can watch those videos. The more you watch and listen, of course, the practice of Scrum in real life has variances. So you might find some conflicting opinions from different YouTubers, but it doesn't really make much difference. The whole idea is that you are getting the understanding, the whole concept of the Scrum framework. So I recommend that you subscribe to YouTube channels. Now, these are free, and you can have a schedule of listening to several videos. The more you listen, the better you would get. Well, I'm going to stop the video here because this is part one, so that I could continue in the next video. I don't want to make the videos too long, but in the next video, I'll be talking about the remaining 3 points that I think are very important and will help you increase your understanding as a new Scrum Master. So stay tuned. Bye-bye.